This is Fox 5 Local News at 11.
History was made today in Washington, D.C. Thousands of people came out to greet Pope Francis and attend his Mass at the Basilica.
Right now at 11, the unforgettable moments from a little girl who just wanted a hug to the first canonization on U.S. soil. This is Fox 5 Local News at 11. And we begin the 11 with breaking news out of Columbia, Maryland. Take a look at these pictures. A devastating scene for 5 homeowners. An explosion happened on Sleepy Horse Lane earlier tonight, causing an incredible amount of damage.
Fox 5 Sarah Simmons is live on the scene. Sarah, this is a townhouse community. Is that correct?
That's right, guys. These row homes out here on Sleepy Horse Lane in Columbia, Maryland. You can kind of hear in the background here, this is the townhome where they believe the explosion occurred, and you can kind of hear them doing some work back here. Firefighters have been working, putting out hot spots. They've just been trying to make sure it's good enough around here for people to get back into their townhomes. But you can see, look at the debris out here on the ground. This is from that explosion happening at about 20 after 7 this evening, and the explosion was followed by just these massive flames. If you take a look at the video, this is cell phone video we got from a few of the residents in this area, and you can just see how fully engulfed one of the townhomes was. It spread to a few others as well, but if you take a look at Skyfox video from earlier today, you really get a sense of how big of an explosion it was and just that crater that it left in this home. Now, here is what we know so far from the fire chief. He is telling us one BGE worker was injured, another person was injured as well, but it's hard to believe that these are non-life-threatening injuries we're talking about here. And we're very lucky because the 2 homes that were most affected by this explosion, the fire chief was telling us those people were out of town, so nobody was even home at the time of this explosion, thankfully. And the BGE worker, they understand, was here to investigate some sort of natural gas leak. Take a listen.
We believe that he was out here to investigate reports of a leak, a natural gas leak, and evidently he identified the leak and supposedly went back for some equipment at which time the explosion occurred.
Now we're back out here live, and they're also telling us that people pretty much self-evacuated the area once they heard the explosion, came out and saw the flames. 5 townhomes are telling us that were affected by this, but the ones that were not heavily damaged, they believe some of the folks may be able to get back in tonight possibly, but for the most part, they said things should be back to normal in this area. They'll allow people in sometime tonight. Meanwhile, they just sort of have the area cordoned off just to make sure everyone is safe. That's the latest here in Columbia, Maryland. Sarah Simmons, Fox 5 Local News.
Thank you, Sarah.
Incredible pictures, Sarah. All right, now we take you back to our other top story, the papal visit.
That's right. It was an exciting day to be in the District of Columbia as Pope Francis spent his first full day on U.S. soil. His day began just before 9 a.m. when he departed the Vatican Embassy in Northwest D.C. As he left the building, he stopped and blessed some of the school children who were gathered outside, as you can see. He even took time to smile for a selfie with them.
Pope Francis then arrived at the White House in his black Fiat and was greeted by President Obama and the First Lady. In a powerful moment, the 2 men stood and looked out at the crowd of hundreds, if not thousands of people who gathered to see the Holy Father.
And after the pontiff spoke to the crowd at the White House, he left in his Pope-mobile and began his parade down the Ellipse. Secret Service agents flanked the Pope both on foot and in vehicles surrounding the vehicle, but that didn't stop him from reaching out to the people who gathered to see him.
Then just after 4:15 this afternoon, the Pope arrived at the Basilica in Northeast, actually arrived before 4:15, and held a mass for approximately 25,000 people who gathered to hear his word. During the mass, Pope Francis elevated missionary Junipero Serra to sainthood. This is the first time that such a ceremony was ever held on American soil.
You know, one of the most emotional and poignant moments from the day happened during that parade down the Ellipse. A little girl broke through the security barrier, ran towards the Pope. Security kind of stepped in to stop her, and she hesitated. But when the Pope saw what was going on, he called her over to the Pope-mobile and blessed her.
What an amazing moment. Marina Morocco met with that determined 5-year-old girl tonight and joins us now with her story. Marina.
That's a good adjective, Tony. She's 5, and you know how some children can be at that age. They can quickly become overwhelmed and shy. But this little girl came all the way from Los Angeles to deliver a message and a letter to the Pope, and she wasn't going anywhere before she did just that. Now, you can see here that she was being hoisted up to the Pope-mobile, and Sophie Cruz is actually part of a coalition back home in California that advocates for undocumented immigrants. She's American-born, but her parents are here illegally and could face deportation. Tonight, after a quick swim at the hotel pool, she gave us a play-by-play of her encounter with the Pope. So what is he doing to you there?
Taking me away.
He told you couldn't cross?
Yeah.
And then what did he tell you?
Nothing, and then he grabbed me and then he took me to the Pope, like that.
So he takes you to the Pope?
Yeah, and he hugs me.
You still had something in your hand. What did you want to give him?
T-shirt and a letter, and I give it to him.
Did he say anything to you?
No.
No? Did you give him a kiss? Yeah.
He just smiled at me, and he was crying, and I was crying too. I wanted to cry when I was in front of the Pope. I wanted to cry. I was sad because the policeman, he didn't let me in.
How did you get to the Pope? Did you get under the barricade, under the fence?
No, because it's so little.
So how did you get over?
Oh, my dad he passed me over the gate.
But you wanted to hand him that letter, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you wanted the Pope to know about your daddy?
To know that the immigrants like my daddy, they're hard workers. He works in a factory galvanizing pieces of metal.
You're going to see the Pope again tomorrow, right?
And the president.
Yeah?
And I have a letter for the president.
And what are you going to tell the president?
I don't know yet. I'm going to plan it in my hotel.
What do you want to be one day when you grow up?
Scientist and a doctor.
Now, the letter that Sophie gave the Pope was in Spanish, but here are the parts translated to English, which read, quote, I would like to ask you to speak with the President and the Congress in legalizing my parents because every day I am scared that one day they will be taken away from me. She also added, all immigrants, just like my dad, help feed this country. They deserve to live with dignity. They deserve to live with respect, and they deserve an immigration reform. Now, Sophie, at 5 years old, is definitely fearless and showed determination today. She will be an invited guest tomorrow morning when the Pope addresses the joint session of Congress, an historic moment in itself. Sophie hopes the Pope will share a message about illegal immigration and families who face deportation while he's on the Hill. She currently has no invitation to meet the president, at least not yet. But like you heard her say, she'll definitely have a letter ready just in case. Tony, Sean.
One determined little girl. All right, we will be watching tomorrow. Marina, thank you. Meantime, thousands of people flooded the district today just to catch a glimpse of the Pope. Incredibly, getting around proved to be pretty smooth. That was until it was time for everyone to go home. Fox 5's Tisha Lewis is live at the Brookland Metro Station right near the Basilica. So, Tisha, I know a lot of people had to come in and out of that particular station. How did it go this evening?
Well, you know what, Sean, you know the adage, all's well that ends well. What I can tell you is that the Basilica is in the backdrop, and countless parishioners came from there to here at the Brookland Station, only to be greeted with confusion and chaos after witnessing and taking part in an historical moment. That's what greeted them here at the station, and the reason why is because service was limited. Moments after Pope Francis's historic mass and canonization, commuters filled the streets searching for the best way home.
Slow. Not as slow as I expected. It's not crazy. It's pretty civilized. But of course, I mean, with 25,000+ people, what are you going to expect?
At the Brookland Station, any expectations were clouded by complications. Just ask anyone, including Jimmy Carroll.
Right now, we found out one of the metros or something, a station is shut down. So they made us go across the bridge here to a bus station. And right now, buses are just all over the place, and we're just trying to find space. So, and right now we're looking for our lost friend.
Jim Johnson is heading home to Annapolis.
It's very, very slow. Everything's outbound now, so yeah.
And closer for going in. Metro training instructor Cesar Rory urged people to take one of these free shuttles to the next metro station. Despite the sudden influx of passengers and limited service at the Brookland station, Rory says everything went as planned.
Really smooth.
Even so, the struggle to get home was not enough to overshadow what matters more to Jimmy Carroll and scores of parishioners, seeing the Pope.
We all cried, basically. He's a very powerful, holy man.
Along.
What a difference a few hours makes, though Michigan Avenue Northeast outside the Brookland station remains closed tonight. Service is back up and running in both directions. Tisha Lewis, Fox 5 Local News.
During today's Mass, 2,500 ordained priests were inside the Basilica, where they were greeted by the Pope, and another 25,000 people were there for the ticketed event, including our own Sue Palka. She joins us now to tell us a little bit about it and to share some amazing video.
The videos were phenomenal, but just the experience of being so close to the leader of the Catholic Church, and you really do feel his energy. It was an extraordinary day, extraordinary weather. I was laughing because in our little swag bag they gave us, they put ponchos in case it rained. Just in case. Thank heavens it didn't. The weather was so great. And I actually got a seat under a beautiful pin oak tree, so I had shade the whole time. I was like, thank you very much for this. I just wanted to show you that we all got a chance to get up close and personal with the Holy Father as he came by. We have a little video, and you can kind of see how close I was. You can also see as he was coming out of the Basilica, before he entered the Basilica, he made his tour in the Pope-mobile, and he did it twice. So everybody had a chance, nice and slow, and we were able to see him close up. This was my view.
Very close.
About 15 feet away.
Amazing.
I didn't have to move far from my chair to actually see him going by, and he was very enthusiastic, and the crowds absolutely loved him. We transitioned from this very up close and personal moment to an amazing Mass that was inspirational. I think everybody was overwhelmed with the music that was provided by Catholic University in the Basilica. There's Father Bill Byrne. I was going through the security line, which took about 50 minutes, and he was right there, and it just felt like it was such a small world because it felt like I knew a lot of people down there today, but it was a great experience, great weather. There's my husband, Joe. He's not the one with the Roman collar. he's the one with the bow tie, and that is our parish priest, Father Mateo from St. Rose in Gaithersburg. So we were delighted to bump into him as well, and just a great, great day. And one more day for the pontiff. I thought he looked a little tired toward the end of the day.
I can imagine, you know.
And if I'm exhausted, so, and I didn't do anything but go, yay!
Yeah.
But he had to speak.
We all just covered him. He had to do everything. So
he really did. So hopefully he's going to have another great day tomorrow. But I think he left all of us very inspired today.
Absolutely.
And proud.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, Sue. Thank you much. Sue. Will.
And he was a little sunburned, right, Sue?
Yes. There you are, Will. We're all looking for him.
I don't know what they're doing. Listen, what I was going to do is say, hey, there's this other story that's happening today. One word. Empire!
Yes.
You got it. It is back. And since Empire is such a huge hit, Fox 5 had to do what? Throw a party. Our Fox 5 team took over Howard Theater in D.C. We gave microphones to our own Allison Seymour. Radio legend Donnie Simpson, Tony and Sean dropped by, took the stage as well. We're taking you to the premiere party still on the way.
So it really was an extraordinary day in D.C. I thought the one word was going to be panda, Will, but that was 2 weeks ago, one word.
Panda's all the rage on Twitter still. But look, you didn't need that poncho in the bag, did you?
No, we didn't, and we have a beautiful evening. When will you need a poncho? We've got a little rain in the forecast. I'll have details coming up. Don't worry, it's not tomorrow.
Treat us like animals.
It was a powerful kickoff to the season 2 premiere of Empire, a smash hit. And once again, Taraji P. Henson's character, Cookie Lion, is as entertaining as ever and quite passionate there in the crowd. You might agree with me, Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, it's the Cookie Hour. And to celebrate the season opener, Fox 5 put on a party.
That's right. We took over the Howard Theater tonight. We filled it with hundreds of Empire fans. Tony Perkins and I were there for part of the night. Allison Seymour was there with radio legend Donnie Simpson. They served as the host for part of the night. Take a look.
I thought it was amazing. Like, it was definitely a lot of juice, a lot of energy. A lot of stuff surprised me, like when the lady got in charge of the table.
Yeah, Mimi.
Yeah,
Marissa
Mimi.
Tomei.
Yeah, her name.
Okay, all right.
So it was crazy.
Just a reminder, you can catch season 2 of Empire every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock right here on Fox 5.
Not a celebrity cameos tonight, too. Al Sharpton, Marissa Tomei, Chris Rock.
I didn't see it yet. I got to go home and watch it on DVR. Tony, Sue, you guys got to watch it on DVR, too?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Oh, fun stuff.
All right, so tomorrow, is that going to be a nice day,
Tomorrow's a good day. We'll have some high, thin clouds coming in the afternoon, but it'll be a beautiful day, very, very similar to today temperature-wise.
Okay.
Just glorious, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
No accident either, I don't think. Glad about that. As we head toward the weekend, Tony, a lot of people asking me about this lunar eclipse that we're going to have Sunday night, which is also a supermoon. We're going to talk a little bit about what those are, but we do have a bit of rain in the forecast Saturday and Sunday, so hopefully we can get that cleared out. Nice look at the Capitol tonight. And yes, more sunshine for you on Thursday. A beautiful day. It clouds up a little on Friday. I think Friday stays dry right now. We will likely see some showers around this weekend. Oh boy, do we need rain, that is for sure. And then we will watch temperatures getting a little bit cooler as we head on into the weekend as well. Here are the high temperatures today. Just a gorgeous, delightful, wonderful day. A refreshing breeze, nice low humidity near 80 degrees. And we're in the 60s and 50s now, and it will be cool tonight. Wanted you to see your out-the-door forecast for the early commuters tomorrow. 61 degrees at 5 a.m. By 7 a.m., 62, and by 9 a.m., 66. Sunrise at 6:57. So your two-day forecast, tomorrow 81. Then we're considerably cooler because of the clouds on Friday, dropping to about 75 degrees. And we will talk about a little bit of this storm action getting a bit closer over the weekend. It's spreading a few high, thin clouds in here. We'll have those clouds thicken a little bit tomorrow night. Again, it looks like a dry day. Fall arrived this morning at 4:15, and this first night of fall has been just delightful, partly cloudy, cool with light winds. We head to 60 degrees tonight, and again, 50s as we go forward through the overnight hours. Again, the weekend we'll have certainly featuring our high pressure tomorrow, but as that gets off the coast, it'll allow that system to get a bit closer to us on the weekend, and that's why we're thinking there are going to be some showers, probably more copious at the beaches. Here is your 7-day forecast. And I mentioned Sunday, we're going to have to watch to see if we can get the clouds cleared out. A full eclipse of the moon, which means the moon will look a little bit reddish on Sunday night if we can get rid of the clouds. And it's a supermoon because in its orbit toward Earth, it's a little bit closer. So it'll appear to be about 14% bigger. We're going to talk more about the supermoon and the eclipse tomorrow night. Looks like next week's a little bit cooler as well, but Monday is now drier. All right, that's your 7-day forecast, but don't go anywhere. Fox 5 Local News at 11. We'll be right back.
Well, the Nats have had the opportunity to at least make the division interesting the last couple of nights while the Mets have struggled. But the Nats could not take advantage of a Mets loss last night, and tonight another Mets loss and another opportunity missed. Let's take it down to Nats Park. O's and Nats in this Battle of the Beltway series, and a big night for Max Scherzer. Top of the fourth, facing Jonathan Scope. Strikes him out, and it is a new team record. That is Scherzer's 243rd strikeout of the season, breaking the record set by Steven Strasburg last season. Max finished with a dozen Ks tonight. Bottom 5, Nats down 1. Wilson Ramos, base hit down the left field line. And Michael Taylor, he's heading home. Here comes the relay. Taylor beats the tag. The Nats tie, later take the lead 3-2. Top 7 now. Scherzer battling Manny Machado. Machado gets the advantage here. Sends Scherzer's 122nd pitch of the night into the seats in left center. 2-run shot gives the Birds a 4-3 lead. And maybe he walked it off a little too much, because in the 9th, Jonathan Papelbon sends one up and in, plunks Machado in his next at bat. Papelbon immediately ejected. Machado's, he's got some beef, and Papelbon upset because, well, there was just no warning and he was tossed. But makes no difference in this one. Nats fall 4-3. Magic number now down to 5. Here are the skippers on the 9th inning dust-up.
He said he thought it was an intentional pitch, and he ran him. For me, it's quick, and I know he's pitching him in. I know he's got to throw fastballs in. I know he looks out over. That's the ball he hit off of Max. I don't think there's intent there.
It's kind of like the wrestler who pulls somebody's hair. Was that a Hulk guy? And they act like they didn't do it. I think it was pretty obvious.
Love that. The baseball world is now mourning the death of one of the great players and personalities of the game. Yogi Berra passed away last night at the age of 90. He won 10 world championships with the Yankees, 3-time MVP, but everyone loved his Yogi-isms like deja vu all over again, and if you come to a fork in the road, take it. Well, the Redskins are back under the lights tomorrow night against the Giants for their first primetime game of the season. Time slot they've struggled in recently. However, winning just 4 of their last 21 primetime games. So that's not good, but they do have some momentum after jumping in the win column last week against the St. Louis Rams.
Excited. You know, we're a one-on-one football team with a chance to go to 2-1, a chance to take a step forward in our division, a chance to, you know, get a win against a division rival on the road. What a great opportunity, a great challenge, and we need to have an outstanding couple of days of preparation left to be ready for that challenge.
We're 1-1 right now, a long way to go. Obviously, a huge division game Thursday night, and you know, quarterbacks are judged by long distance. You know, the 16-game seasons, and the jury's still out. But we have total faith that he'll do well.
Well, tomorrow the Skins offense will face an old friend, safety Brandon Merriweather, who now wears number 22 with the New York Giants, already making a big impact with Big Blue, forcing a fumble for a touchdown against the Cowboys, and then last week had a couple of pass breakups. He may have found some inside information on the Skins as well that he could share with his new team. But the Skins will also have some intelligence thanks to their current DB coach and former Giants defensive coordinator, Harry Fuel. Get ready for that matchup. That'll do it tonight. Thanks for tuning in. TMZ heading your way right now.